in the chaos, a happy ending to this hell in a handbasket of a matchup. The Elegance brand show why they are the brand of today, tomorrow, and they wipe their feet with spray into the
Worldwide, I've kept you waiting, but I've kept you waiting for good reason. Megasis Megan Bayne is coming to All-Star Grand Queendom to claim my place as the top contender for the IWGP Women's Championship. This belt is held by the champion Shuri, who is one of the strongest competitors Stardom has ever seen. But once I defeat her, there will be a new standard. I will proudly display this title as proof that I am the strongest competitor in the world. Stardom fans worldwide,
Alright guys, looks like we're done here. Alright guys, looks like we're done here. Let me grab my phone like that. So, just finished putting on some Carnauba, what is it, ceramic spray. I'm very forgetful today, just finally getting my energy drink, so just finished putting some ceramic spray coating by Carnauba Hybrid Solutions. Ceramic spray coating, it's liquid. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, kiddo, we need the paste, the paste waxes are
All right, friends, you know what time it is. It's time for reacting to Jason Blaha time. The gym lifting, recruiting, fitness gear slave himself, Jason Blaha. So in this video, Blaha says, natural testosterone, growth hormone, and cortisol production and gains. Okay.
Worrying about specific hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, cortisol in terms of your gains in the gym is a complete waste of time. Hey, everybody.
Why would it be a complete waste of time? If you have a problem with your hormones, it's because of what you're eating is causing the problem, and somewhat too much lifting also disrupts your hormones.
It's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would chat with you guys about this today, but a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like and drop me a comment down below. I'd appreciate it. Sure. And really, these have just been historic buzzwords used in the industry to try to trick people into worrying about factors that don't matter at all for your muscle growth, fat loss, any of that.
No, they don't matter at all for your muscle growth or anything like that. The cortisol, the growth hormone, the testosterone. That's why people are only worried about low testosterone these days, right? Sure, yeah, okay.
Now, am I saying these hormones don't matter? No.
Yeah,
No.
you just said they don't matter.
I'm not saying that at all.
Okay.
They all play a role here. But barring medical intervention, in other words, are you taking...
Think about it. Why would Blaha have to be on TRT? Ask yourself that question. Why? He says he's on TRT, but then he says he's on primobolan and testosterone. Regardless, why would you need steroids, right? If you can afford, if you have money, you can afford to eat the best food, right? All right. The question is this, though, but this is for Blaha. Why would Blaha have to take TRT? Why would he have to take any kind of steroid? If that didn't matter, if testosterone, this growth hormone, and cortisol didn't matter, why does Blaha have to take hormone therapy? Why? So you see, you have to question everything. But according to Blaha, it doesn't matter. Get it? It only matters for Blaha because he has to entertain you with lifting these stupid weights over and over again. If he's not lifting anything, he's not going heavier. He's not necessarily going, well, he is kind of going lighter on some certain things, but he's not going any heavier than he's lifting here. And it's always the same stuff, day in and day out, day in and day out. It's the same weight, the same lifts and everything.
Drug.
He's already adapted to all this whatever lifting he's doing.
Okay. Are you injecting a drug into your body?
No, I'm not, but we know you are.
Are you taking a pill that directly affects these hormones, positively or negatively?
What if you could unlock?
Directly affects these hormones,
Yeah, Blaha does.
positively or negatively. The answer is no. Then you don't need to concern yourself with these. And there's some reasons that I say that. This was studied quite a few years ago, and again, a lot of it people worry about these things because, you know, drugs bodybuilders and athletes use. They're like, well, I mean, look at bodybuilders inject
And Blaha.
testosterone and growth hormone, and look at them. That's clearly the key. Except that people are forgetting.
That's clearly the key.
They're usually using extremely large amounts of these, 5, 10, 20, 50 times what your body can even produce. So do you understand it's not the same thing? Like when you're looking at the difference, you know, between adding something versus what your body produces, it's not remotely close. And if you want to understand what I mean, you guys remember all those studies done on testosterone here in the U.S. with young men and lifters and stuff, and they looked at growth rates, and here's what they found. They found that muscle growth was pretty much doubled, you know,
Really? Okay.
pretty much doubled versus just lifting weights.
It was pretty much doubled than lifting weights. Let me tell you something. The best thing you could do is focus on your looks, like in the natural world, eating natural food. That's it. All the girlfriends I ever had, they didn't wear makeup, man. They had really good dimorphism. When I think about it now, they had really good aesthetics in their face and dimorphism. I guess that's what really made me attracted to them. I don't know. For sure. So they didn't wear makeup, man. They didn't have to wear makeup when I think about it. It looked really good. I don't wear makeup. They didn't wear makeup. See, here's the thing. You want to make yourself so fantastically attractive. You want to have such nice skin and everything. What's going to give you nice skin? Animal organs. When you eat organs every single day, like liver, bone marrow, things like that, heart, kidney, these things, they make your skin better. So you don't need to wear makeup, and it'll fix your aesthetics and dimorphism to eating animal products, especially organs. So the better looking you make yourself, man, the more attractive you become. Naturally, people are attracted to naturally good-looking people. You understand me? That's why people take steroids. These guys, they take steroids because they want to look aesthetically, right? Aesthetically good looking. They want to be looking good aesthetically. But here's the thing with steroids. It does the opposite to your face. It makes it look old. You start looking at the top portion starts looking aesthetically bad. It looks old. It looks bad, bro. Get it? It doesn't make you look good. It does the opposite. Your body aesthetically, your body will look good because it's cosmetic, right? It'll look good, but eventually the top part may not look so good on steroids, bro. Get it? You may look like Blaha with a pumpkin head. You definitely don't want to be walking around with a bald pumpkin head and people looking at you, because here's the thing. The majority of the time, you're going to be wearing clothes. You're going to be wearing clothes in public, and all they see is your pumpkin head. And if it looks like a pumpkin, it must be a pumpkin. And therefore, I don't know, man. If a woman falls in love with your pumpkin head, well, good luck with that. I don't know, dude.
By having your testosterone levels 4 times higher than normal. Not a 10% increase, not a 20% increase, a 400% increase. Okay, and that's what it took, in the form of synthetic androgens. And so when you understand that and you realize that minor fluctuations in testosterone level, a 20-30% shift up or down,
sure,
is going to affect your muscle growth, probably less than 1%. Okay. I'm not saying that doesn't matter, but in the grand scheme of things, worrying about it isn't helpful. Growth hormone definitely has some various benefits, fat burning, tendons, but when it's even taken by itself, studies found no muscle growth, and I'm talking large amounts. Okay, we're talking doses that are more
large amounts had no effect on muscle growth. Okay, man.
That are like 10, 12 times what the human body can even produce.
Sure, okay. It can't grow anything without real food.
Didn't really cause muscle growth. People got a little leaner.
They got a little leaner, but it didn't cause muscle growth. How does it cause muscle growth?
The tendons probably got a little stronger. Skin got a little tighter, but actual muscle growth now.
After Cocoa Puffs?
So again, there's a synergistic effect these things have, and then you look at that big meta-analysis.
Blaha thinks that plants and fiber in plants and arsenic and cyanide and stuff, these nuts and shit and all that, and coffee, it builds muscles. He thinks those things build muscles, these plants. These toxic plants and shit, they build muscles, bro. Get it? That's how insane Blaha is. That's why he's massive, bro. Oh my God.
That was done on hormone release after training, right? They did a large study looking at every study. This was
I always thought personally, plants and bread and all those were fillers because my parents made me eat them. They go, you can't eat meat alone. You have to eat it with these things. So I was like, okay, these just must be fillers to fill you up, because I guess they can't allow you can't be eating so much meat. They don't want you to eating so much meat. It's like this. It's like you go to these buffets, I've been to some buffets, and one time, one person told me, I can't remember, in the buffet, the guy comes and told me something. As like, because I'm just eating meat at the buffet, right? like, why would I eat anything else? Because all that other shit's fillers. That's why people go to buffets and then when they leave, they go, oh, 1 hour later, I'm hungry. Oh, 1 hour later, you're hungry. Why? Because you ate fillers. The fillers are not meat. They don't. They fill you up temporarily to make you psychologically think you're full, but you're actually not full and you're hungry because your body can't use it. It's not bioavailable. It's just garbage you put in there. But whatever, man. That's like oats. You know, people tell you to eat oats. Slow. They go slow. What is it? Slow digesting. Why would you want to do that? You want stuff that's fast digesting, so it could get absorbed in your body. What gets absorbed rapidly? Meat. Oh no, I want to eat oats, man. That's really slow absorbing. It's really hard on your gut, really hard on your body, and guess what? It's not even bioavailable, the stuff that's in it. So you were like, oh, I'm going to the gym, man. I'm going to build muscles eating oats. And I'm going to eat these oats and things and cereals. Ooh. And meanwhile, back in the jungle, you can't figure out why you're not building muscle, why you're not getting bigger. Not only that, but you probably get smaller on oats. Fuck. Oats are for horses, dude. They're not for humans. But, you know, like I said, I digress, bro. People should do whatever the fuck they want to do, okay? And then stop complaining about why you're not getting bigger, this, that. You're even the cause of your own problem, why you're not getting bigger and stronger and stuff, because it all revolves around food, the food you're eating. Like, look at Blaha. And I'm pretty sure he eats oats, too, because he's crazy.
About this about 8 or 9 years ago. You know, exercise scientists tried to look at this, and what they found is that the amount of these hormones produced during training, like at the end of a
produced during training, it goes up and then it crashes right after the training. Get it? That's what happens. Think about why are people complaining about low testosterone and small testicles these days, small penises and testicles or whatever. Why are they complaining about all these things? You need to question everything, bro. Why? Think about it. Ponder that thought.
Workout. They found no correlation in other than cortisol, and it was the opposite of what people expected. Other than cortisol, and it was the opposite of what people expected, right? So the amount of testosterone that your body was producing post-workout didn't seem to be any factor at all, right? So the amount of testosterone boost you got from it didn't seem to affect muscle growth at all. There was no correlation between the amounts. Meaning some workouts
yes, if you say so,
produce more testosterone, some produce more growth hormone, and so on. But when they studied it, there was no direct relationship between the amounts that anything went up. Now, these hormones all boost a little bit during training and at the end. So we all have to understand that.
Sure.
But the amount that they went up didn't seem to correlate at all. The only one that they found that affected it was cortisol, and what they found is that in the workouts that over time produce slightly more muscle growth in those test subjects, they also had higher cortisol levels at the end of the workout, produced right afterwards.
I'm sure.
But again, the point here is correlation versus causation. You know, a lot of them speculate, look, there's a relationship, but it's not the cortisol causing muscle growth.
There's a relationship. Cortisol? That's not the cortisol causing muscle growth. What is he talking about?
Like, cortisol shouldn't cause muscle growth.
How the hell could it cause muscle growth, you moron?
Think about what does elevated cortisol at the end of a workout.
Hormones don't grow muscle, dude. Food does. Food grows muscles, you dumbass.
It means you probably trained harder. Okay? The harder and more
it means you probably trained harder. Your cortisol went up. So you labored harder on the job in the factory. And your cortisol went up. Okay.
Or even longer that you train.
Yeah. So the more you work in the factory, 8 hours a day, yes?
The larger the cortisol response is going to be.
The larger the cortisol response. Wow. Okay.
Because it's a stress hormone. The more
it's a stress hormone.
Stress that you induce in a workout In other words, you trained harder. It's like flat out, one way or another. You trained harder. Produces more cortisol, okay? So
Train harder produces more cortisol. Wow, no kidding.
wouldn't you expect harder training to produce slightly more gains than less hard training over time?
So hard training produces more gains. Hard training produces more, it can produce more muscle adaptations, what we call micro damages, which will equate to more adaptations. So the more you get of them, yeah, it could equate to that. But it'll only gain muscle if protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown. It has to be for an extended period of time. It can't happen in one day, bro, every single day. This is just ridiculous. But whatever, man. See what I mean? That's why they always say the group, when the group came back in the second week, why did they get much less damage? Well, guess what? If you're getting much less damage to the point where there's no more damage, there's no more adaptations. You've tapped out. So what do you need to do? You need to get more adaptations instead of being adapted. Adapted means no more adaptations. Adaptations means more adaptations. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It means
Like
exactly that.
They plotted it over 12 weeks and they measured the intensity levels and how much effort and work people put into the workouts.
Oh, really?
And they found that those who worked harder gained a little more muscle.
Those who worked a little bit harder got more muscle, eating their 3 meals a day without. They didn't focus on hypertrophy, right? It just magically gave them more muscle. Okay, man, whatever, dude. It doesn't work like that. In the beginning, when you come in, when you first lift, you get a massive amount of damage. If you did it properly, you get some damage, okay? I don't know what that damage is. I don't know what you're working on. I don't know what you're doing. But usually you do. And some people